'Cause it's all about power and control. They want ultimate power over everybody. And so the most vulnerable and weak people are kids.
Cool.
That was insane. But it's like I sit here and I'm like, I've read about all this.
Yeah.
It's frustrating because like,
Can't talk about it, bro.
I would love to say, yes.
Yeah.
Look at this.
You literally can't have these conversations only on X and Rumble, bro. If you put that on YouTube, what we just talked about, video's going down.
Yeah, channel's going down. I think channel's going down, genuinely.
Yeah.
So
put it behind a paywall, bro.
So dialing it back a little bit, right? These ideas of like the world, what's going on, how crazy it is, power, control, right? All these ideas, which is like an inevitable in human nature. My question is,
why?
Why? But also, if it wasn't how it is now, right? Whoever's in power and control, they, or you want to call them, right? You get me, right? It's like, if it's not they, if it's not them, at some point, it just ends up being someone else. So like my question is in like human nature, in like power and control, right? You, for example, got done talking about like how you're super hyper competitive, even in video games, and you should be able to say this, the fat people lose the weight, you fat, whatever. It's like, I get it. Those are always going to tend to be the people that get to the top, that stay at the top, right? That are not going to want to give up the top. So it's like, if it's not whoever it is now, whoever it is next or next or next, doesn't the same stuff just start to happen anyways?
That's a good point.
I mean, you're right, bro. Whoever's in power is going to ensure that not only they hold power, but people that have their same worldview are going to hold power. So that, there's a saying like, power, absolute power corrupts, right? And it is what it is. That's just kind of how it goes.
Because I think this is a human nature. Like we could sit here all day and say, it would be like this, or it could be like this, or this could be a better world if it was like more reciprocal, more synergy, and not like, oh, I have more power, so I'm just gonna take advantage of all of it. But the reality is like human nature is baked into that, where it's like that's not how humans operate.
Yeah.
Like if
I don't
you
have
had
a problem with them having power. I don't have an issue with that. My problem is if you call it out, that's when you get silenced. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't have a problem with certain people having. I don't care. Control whatever infrastructures you want to control. But my issue is your ability to be able to call it out, especially when you live in the United States where it's a free speech country.
Yeah.
If it's Australia or one of these other countries where like they don't really have free speech like that, the UK, fine, it is what it is. But like in the United States where it's the First Amendment, where you should be able to have free speech, that's where I draw issues.
I have an issue with that. I think that there should be people, the elected officials, should believe in things that we can agree on that are right from wrong and good for bad. If they don't believe in heaven and hell, and that if they don't believe in an afterlife, then they probably don't have a moral compass that I think is good for the rest of the world. So you should have people that are in charge that know right from wrong. And a lot of them don't.
And also they can't have dual allegiance to other countries. And that's the other problem too, is that like a lot of these, people that are in these positions of power, they have dual allegiance. And a lot of the times this dual allegiance puts us in a precarious situation geopolitically.
Yeah. But your point about like, if believing in a God or otherwise you're just going to like do something and just take advantage of people.
It's human nature.
Yeah. But you don't think that there is just good in people where even if you didn't have that sort of belief that you couldn't be a good person?
You can, but it's easier to corrupt those people. Like it's better to follow somebody who has a strict set of rules about what's right from wrong, or else they're going to be able to stray away very easily. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
That's what the phrase. That's what the saying.
You can be a good person, but these people they bend and fold much easier without specific guidelines.
So you don't think a person could just create their own guidelines, like just being a good person, like whether they're religious or not?
But how do we know what that is? Right? Because
like there's certain innate things.
But there's a lot of things we disagree on, like Don Lemon getting married to another man. You're like, okay, it's not hurting so much, and then where do you draw the line? And then a mother and son are getting married. And then like, well, some people say it's okay, like they seem happy, blah, blah, blah. There should be someone that says, no, this is absolutely wrong. I don't care if they're happy. This is not good in society. Or like a man marrying a dog, like, yeah, they might be happy.
Religion provides those parameters.
You need to have specific guidelines because if you just say like, oh, we're good from bad, then you let humans judge good from bad. And we're flawed. I'm flawed. You're flawed. We are always going to make mistakes. The one perfect thing is God.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely not disagreeing with that.
Yeah,
I hear that.
And secularism does breed like degeneracy, and a lot of the problems that we have in society now comes from secularism. So and I'm not perfect either. But I can objectively look and be like, okay, secularism has created a bunch of problems that we have right here in modern day society. That's led to the disintegration of the family unit, religion, etc. All these like things that used to kind of be in place to keep society pushing forward. The United States was strongest when 1940s, 1950s, etc. And when we were a very powerful Christian country where we prioritized the family, having children, etc. But now we're moving more towards let's just have fun and party and more degenerative lifestyle that's more concerned with today versus the future.
Yeah. But do you guys ever feel that some of the stuff you say you ever hypocritical about your own actions?
Yeah, of course, man. Like nobody is ever going to be perfect. I get that criticism all the time because I'm Muslim, and it's like, oh well, we saw you in like afterwards. I saw in the UFC party, like after the last event, like there was a Sugar Sean was hosting a thing. Like, should I have been there? Probably not. Like I probably should, but like the temptation is strong. Like he just want to fight. All my friends are there. All these influencers in there. Like I want to go. But it does that.
I didn't post that video, by the way.
No, I know you didn't. But like people will criticize me so much for that. You get these people attack like, look at him here. I know you didn't post it, but it's like, of course we're going to be hypocritical. But that I think is, I actually think that's one of the dumbest criticisms I see from non-believers or the people that think like, oh, just be a good person. It's like to look at a human as an example of good and evil is such a dumb idea because we are all susceptible to be corrupted.